Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today I am going to be talking about having a natural birth. That means unmedicated, no epidural. I did have my baby with a natural birth about 1.5 years ago, so I thought I'd share some tips in my journey with you in case you are thinking of having a natural birth. In my case, I chose to have a natural birth. It was something that I had planned. I did it at a birthing center, but we were really close to a hospital in case that we needed to go to the hospital for whatever reason. My contractions started about, I would say 2 a.m. like Friday. I'm sorry, it was like Saturday morning. So it was like Friday night, Saturday morning, 2 a.m. And I messaged my sister who's a doula, and she the way I was describing the frequency, it was like every 2 hours I was having contractions. She was like, yeah, it sounds like you're going into labor. The contractions started very slow, with more time in between them, and then they started getting closer and closer as it was time for me to start getting ready to actually go to the birthing center. So before I even left and went to the birthing center, it took some time. Like I was okay being at home. I had a big old exercise bouncy ball, so I was sitting on that, and I remember just kind of like going in circles and relaxing. I would walk, and I remember eating. I ate, and I ended up not going to the birthing center until around 6 p.m. Saturday. So it was quite some time at home. By the time I got to the birthing center, I was about 5 centimeters dilated, but it was manageable. It still wasn't, the contractions were getting stronger, but it was still like, okay, I got this. I got this. One thing I do want to point out about birthing centers and how they're different than hospitals is that in the birthing center, so my room was literally set up like a bedroom. There was a big queen-sized bed in the middle of the room. In the corner, they had a bathtub filled with some warm water. They had a bathroom with a shower, and then they had like a little living area with a couch for whoever was going to be in the room with you. So that made me feel very comfortable. And I also set up my music and my scenery. I had like affirmations. That's how it's different than a hospital, because I think in hospital, you have to, I think you can walk around, but it's a hospital environment. So that's that. I started off in the hot tub. So I went into the bathtub. I went into the bathtub, and it was relaxing for a bit, but I could not stay in there for long. I had to get out. I had to start walking my body. I just wanted to walk. And so I got up, and then I remember just like walking around the room, and I took off a robe, I put on a robe, but I was getting really hot. I was just getting really hot and sweaty, and I hung on my husband. I would hang on my husband a lot, like on his neck, and just kind of hang there, like, arms up and just hanging there. And then I also did that to the midwife, but it was mainly my husband. I also sat on the ball that they had there. And, but the thing is, like, the contractions were the only time that you felt pain. So have you guys heard about the description of contractions similar to those of waves? Let me tell you about that a little bit more, because that's what they are. So when you think about waves, you could see them coming, right? Like they're slowly creeping up and slowly starting to form, and they get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's like the contractions. You feel them coming, and so they start off kind of like period cramps, right? And you feel them coming, and you're like, oh, okay, I could deal with this. And then it just gets worse, like, the momentum increases, and you feel like, oh, the real pain is about to come, like that crash, like the wave crash, like it's coming. And I remember saying out loud or something, like when it was getting like really strong, like, another one is coming, like I can't stop it, like I know I'm not gonna stop it coming. I can't stop it even if I wanted to. So it's just kind of like talking to yourself, like I need to get through this. I'm going to make it through this. Like, I have no other choice. So in a way, I feel like it does help you with like mental strength, because you need to tell yourself and talk to yourself and calm yourself down. Like, my body was made for this. I'm good. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be feeling. And again, if you have a doula, or I highly recommend doulas, midwives, your partner, whoever could be in there with you, helping you. My husband was great. My sister was on the phone. She's a doula, because she lives out of the country. And then the midwives were awesome. So, but yeah, so that is what the contractions are like. And I remember, every time the contractions would come, your body like tells you're ready, like be push, like now you should be pushing. And I remember my sister telling me, who again, she's the doula, she told me, you have to push as if you're doing a sit-up or a crunch, right? Like you're using that muscle to kind of crunch your stomach and push. So that's the type of push you want to give. And but since the contractions, before you're actually at that point of pushing, the contractions beforehand, they come in waves. So you actually get to rest in between the contractions, which is nice. And I did. I actually ended up like falling asleep in between some of the contractions, which surprised me. I didn't think that was going to happen. Then my water broke, and I could feel like, oh, something different is happening, and my water broke. And then the baby came in within, I would say, an hour after that. It was about about an hour after that. And I remember I was able to get in whatever position I wanted. So I was more comfortable being on my hands and my knees. And I pushed about 3 times. And let me tell you, I was letting out some primal sounds. Like, it was just like a deep vibrational sound. Like, it was not screaming. It was just like my inner, I don't know what was coming out, but yeah. So that was interesting. I just let out whatever I had to let out. I was pushing. And my body would tell me when to stop and when to push. And I kind of mentioned this earlier, but yeah, I think that's a key difference between the epidural and not, is that your body tells you when to push. With epidural, you don't feel anything because you're numb. So that's why, I just wanted to point out that's one of the key differences. At one point, that when I was pushing, I was in between the contractions, I bit my husband, and I thought that was funny. Like, I bit him. I was just like, so like, I want to get this baby out. At one point I wanted to get him out. Like, come baby. I was just like ready to get him out. But yeah, so then he finally came out. I did feel relieved. Although I still did feel some cramping after. You know, some moms say like all the pain is gone right after. And I was expecting no pain as soon as he came out. He came out, but I still felt it. I mean, obviously it wasn't not as much pain as when he was there, but I did still feel like the cramping. It went away a little bit later, and I was just so exhausted, so I didn't really focus too much on that pain. I remember holding him, and we waited for the umbilical cord to drain, so it turns kind of white. And then my husband, and it was just a couple minutes for that. And then my husband, he went in and he cut the umbilical cord. And my husband then did skin to skin with him. He fell asleep right next to him. I got some sleep, and at the birthing centers, again, you get to go home the next day. So we went home the next morning. I was able to take I waited to get home to take a shower and everything. But we went home with our baby, and all in all, the whole process was definitely, I feel like at some level, like it gives you strength. It makes you like stronger. It's like, ooh, like you get in tune with your body, like, again, when what your body is telling you, and you just gain like this strength, this mental model, like I can do this. Actually, you are forced to do it. So you're like forced to be strong in different ways, physically and mentally. And then, yeah, so I thought that was cool. I hope this video was helpful for you in understanding my perspective. It's just one perspective of a natural birth experience. Let me know if you liked this video. If you did, go ahead and subscribe and you'll get notified the next time I post a video. All right, mamas, you got this. You got this. I'm rooting for you.